What's up, guys? Here with you with FC Wonder Kid. Here with my guy, Bretson. How are you?
I'm thinking of applying for Portuguese citizenship. No. I am ready to talk about Group A. There is a lot going on here. It's a wide open group, and my goodness, World Cup Group A. Shall we begin?
Yes, best lineup and predictions. And people, tell us down below before you hear our choices, your choices for who should be in that lineup, and your predictions of who's going to be first and second in Group A. Please go bold. We want to see some bold comments, man. But yes, going with it. Netherlands, the favorites of this group, okay, on paper at least, like Xavi Simons was called up, Jeremy Frimpong was called up, Kenneth Taylor was called up, trusting the youth in the right way, and that's what the Dutch do best. The Dutch academies, like, they're doing what they got to do the right way, trusting the youth.
They do. They also left a lot at home. They left Sven Botman at home.
Ooh.
They left, which I kind of feel aggrieved. Personally, that he was not there. He's just been so good since he joined Newcastle. But they also left, and you mentioned Kenneth Taylor, who has been lights out for AFC Ajax. He has been lights out. Now, he was essentially the direct replacement for Ryan Gravenberch. Ryan Gravenberch is not on this roster.
Ooh.
Ryan Gravenberch went to Bayern. Kenneth Taylor stayed, obviously, at Ajax.
Choices.
And, yeah, Van Gaal decided Kenneth Taylor's been better in form. Ooh. So that's a little bit interesting. You got to feel bad for Gravenberch because he did what he is supposed to do when it comes to career. And, unfortunately, he paid for it. We're going to call that the Cucurella conundrum.
Oh!
But we'll get to that at a later date. No, but, yeah, right. 100% right. Netherlands on paper right here is... One, it's great to see them back in the World Cup. Two, on paper, you look at this because it is a bunch of Ajax guys, Feyenoord guys, you know, whether they're active or they're, you know, beat next team up. PSV Eindhoven guys. The Eredivisie is just this wonderful bevy of talent. Guys with stories like Xavi Simons, who was cast aside, thought as this wonder kid gone bust at PSG, and he has gone to PSV, and he has made himself indispensable, and he is going to be, as a 19-year-old, in that roster. But when it comes down to it, I have to ask you, although we'll get to the predictions in a little bit, I guess, but I have to ask you, this is their first World Cup back. Could it be, because a lot of people are painting them as the exciting team to watch, could this be a little too much pressure for the Dutch national team?
I think the Dutch national team will go through in this Group A, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went second place.
Okay.
If they went second place.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Again, they have but I need to correct myself too, because like Depay, he's built different. Like Wijnaldum, that's what I gotta say. No Wijnaldum is the reason why they can go to the second place. Because if Wijnaldum was there, I would be saying first place much more confidently. And Frankie de Jong has to carry. And maybe because of that Wijnaldum not being there, they needed a Kenneth Taylor that maybe has more in goal involvements going forwards.
No, he does. He plays for Ajax. So, you know, there's inevitably a lot of goal involvements to be had.
Too.
But, yeah, Gravenberch.
He did play for Ajax. And is a different player. I just feel like Kenneth doing in the final third, he has a bigger impact.
Okay.
But as an overall midfielder, Gravenberch is just... what a talent. And Xavi Simons, man. Can Xavi Simons be the best wonder kid in this World Cup? Yes. Will he be? Oh, man, I thought you were going to go bold with it.
I honestly don't know. I don't know if he's there for experience or if he's there. I mean, my assumption is that he is not there just for an experience. Okay, this is not an experiential treatment by Van Gaal. You don't call him up unless you plan to use him. It's just whether or not he could start at cam. Recently, they've been using Cody Gakpo as kind of a cam in this scenario, right?
Slide him to the wing.
And you could slide him to the wing, but they've got good wingers, too, for the most part.
No. What?
Yeah, I mean...
Netherlands, Bergwijn. I'm going to say, man, Cody Gakpo, for me, 100% should be on the wing.
We'll see. That's if they play wings. That's if they play wings, because they generally play three center backs, I believe.
That is true.
So you've got Van Dijk, you've got Jurriën Timber, and you've got, who would the third be?
Timber or, De Vrij.
De Vrij, maybe?
De Vrij.
Yeah. So that defense, De Ligt. There it is. That's who I was looking for. De Ligt, De Vrij. De Vrij, in his best, would have been there. He has not been his best this year.
Timber has arisen. Like,
Timber has, yeah.
De Ligt, Virgil van Dijk. Like, I gotta say, those three?
Yeah.
What's a trio?
The biggest,
Botman.
And then Botman left out because that's just one of those crowded out type of things. But I think the biggest weakness on this Dutch national team is actually their goalkeeper core.
I agree. Siljessen.
They left. No, he's gone.
Ah!
Jesper Sillissen is not there, and a lot of that I think has to do with lack of playing time. So I believe it's Pasveer, Justin Bijlo, and the other guy I didn't really know. He plays in the Eredivisie.
Bold, man.
Noppert, I think is his name. Andres Noppert. So when it comes down to it, Remco Pasveer, you gotta respect the rise of Remco Pasveer. Martin Stecklenburg went down with injuries, and before you know it, and what's his name that went to Brighton? Kjell Scherpen. Went to Brighton. He just didn't get his chance, essentially. He didn't do that well when he did get his chance. Remco Pasveer, at the tender age of whatever he is, he's up there. Let's just say that. He's old. He is going to lead the line for the Oranje at this. So I'm looking at it, and then you look at Ecuador, you look at Senegal, and part of me says this Dutch team is not as strong as a lot of people are saying.
And Senegal is stronger than ever. Winning the AFCON, okay, Sadio Mane.
Question mark with that. but yes.
But as a team, they're going bold.
Yeah.
And Netherlands, and even Qatar. I'm going to say this, man. Qatar individuals, in our best lineup, I don't have Qatar players. Yeah. But as a team, Qatar has a lot of potential. They play extremely well.
You can say it, but it doesn't mean it's true. No, listen.
Nation.
We did get to watch Qatar. They were a guest nation at the Gold Cup, and I probably referenced this multiple times before. But they do have some incredibly dangerous players. You're also right. Almoez Ali, Akraf Afif.
Yes.
Afif. I'm sorry. Pedro Miguel. You were gonna say it. I had to make sure I got it in there. But no, they're a cohesive unit. They can get broken apart, but they're really, really, really dangerous in the transition. So all you can say with Qatar, underestimate them at your own peril.
True.
You need to go in there and put a dagger in them right away, because otherwise they will come back at you. They played us through 120 minutes in the semifinal. It was our B- team, B+ team, that ended up beating Mexico in the final. But the Qataris, I mean, they really left a good impression on most people that were watching the Gold Cup at that time.
And Ecuador too. That's another underrated team.
My favorite team. One of my favorite. Not necessarily
in terms of Wonder Kids.
In terms of Wonder Kids and the personnel, Hincapie and Estupinan and my favorites, Moises Caicedo. I am not shy about this. I have a little man crush.
He's gonna be one of the best Wonder Kids in the World Cup.
I think so too.
100%. He's gonna move too.
Yeah.
Gonna move too. Where'd you think he should go?
Well,
I know it's a bit off the spot.
United has missed their shot. $5 million, man. $5 million is all you had to do. And they decided not to.
Oh my
And they
God.
decided not to.
Imagine.
I'm rooting for any of these Brighton guys that are at the World Cup. But next stop, I don't know. I mean, if Manchester City's not looking, I'd be surprised. If
Chelsea,
any one of the large
Potter.
teams, any one of the top 5, top 6, it'd be. Well, wait, Brighton's in the top 6. Maybe you stay at Brighton.
The three midfielders that are for sure getting a move until the summer. It's Enzo, Jude Bellingham, and Moises Caicedo.
Absolutely.
All Wonder Kids and all for sure are generational talents at midfield right now.
Yeah.
In the discussion. They have to be mentioned. Again, what if they were English? What if they were English?
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody would be Mount?
Yeah.
Like, Mount's not starting. Jude's English. Oh, my days.
Jude is English.
The other two.
But no, I mean, the point stands. The point absolutely stands. And really what it comes down to for me is, will he do it on the biggest stage? You know, Caicedo is going to have to carry a lot of weight for Ecuador. And they weren't exactly... I mean, they were the surprise of the CONMEBOL South American World Cup qualifying. They were the surprise package for sure. They're younger. This is a team that you can't help but root for.
But they can end fourth. They can end fourth.
They can. They can. I just don't think
they will.
No, I don't think they will.
It's like Qatar. I won't put Qatar fourth.
No,
I won't put Qatar fourth. But it's so hard. This Group A is very hard. But before we say our predictions,
South Africa
yours.
has entered the chat.
Oh, true. Man, Chabalala?
Yeah.
Oh, man, PNR.
That first goal. I remember that first goal from 2010. Also the most iconic FIFA of all time.
We might see Akram Afif scoring a mad banger, okay, in the first game against Ecuador. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
There will be scares, and he likely will be at the front of it. Yeah, he will, because they are fun to watch. I'm just telling you that right now. Qatar, Ecuador is going to be fun to watch.
But what are your predictions for this group with Group A?
Yeah.
We definitely agree that Netherlands is going to go through.
We definitely agree Netherlands are going to go through. I'm not bold enough to take them out of the top seed. I thought I was. I thought I had courage. I do not have courage, because when all is said and done, this team has played like a team. And you are right. Memphis Depay is a different animal for the Dutch national team. So I'm not betting against them. They also have a good coach. I know some people might dispute that, but Van Gaal is Van Gaal. Yeah. Okay, I mean, come on. The guy has done some things. Yeah. So I'm going to put the Oranje at the top.
Okay.
I am going to change. I believe I had Ecuador in our early days predictions. I am going to change this around. I'm going to say Senegal will go through in second, and then Ecuador third, Qatar fourth.
Okay, I'll go with Netherlands first, Senegal second, Qatar third, and it hurts me to say because I love Moises Caicedo and Hincapie, but I go fourth with Ecuador. But again, I really feel like he's going to impress against those other teams because Caicedo has the midfield to impress.
Yeah. Well, maybe when you hear my best 11, you'll change your mind.
Oh.
Because piecemeal, some of these Ecuadorian players are pretty
underrated,
good and underrated, and the striker I'm thinking of, who I'm gonna just plant the seed there, see if you can come up with it by the end. I don't think people know he's going as bold as he has been this season, and I will wait.
You're hyping up people at home, man. Like the video.
I mean, I hope we got some Ecuadorian followers here, and here I am putting them in third, but I'm really, I enjoy the way they play. So we'll see.
Love it.
We'll see.
So yes, let's get to the best lineups of Group A. So at goal, I think we both have Edouard Mendy.
We do have Edouard Mendy. I honestly do believe, though, that Remco Pasveer could wind up being the guy. And it's funny because I do. Remco Pasveer, if the Netherlands are going to go through in first, I think they are going to need a solid goalkeeper. And Remco Pasveer has come from no name to some name.
But he's got Virgil van Dijk, De Ligt, and Timber.
Yeah. He does.
It's like you're taking a lot of credit off these three center backs.
Isn't that the name of a good goalkeeper?
True, he has to command the three. It's true.
I'm just saying, Remco Pasveer, even though he's old, he is a guy that's only going to go to one World Cup, and I think he wants to make it his own. So we'll see.
The Dutch were used to Van der Sar back in the day too.
True.
So highest expectations.
True. But I do have Edouard Mendy as best 11. So let's not get too crazy here. I just wanted to name drop Pasveer.
So my best 11 has Edouard Mendy at the left, Estupiñán, then Koulibaly with Virgil van Dijk, and then Dumfries at that right back. Then I'm playing in a 4-3-3 with Idrissa Gueye and that CDM role, with Virgil van Dijk and Moises Caicedo.
Wow.
Dominate the midfield type thing. And the three up front, Sadio Mane, Depay, and Cody Gakpo. So just so I get it, Edouard Mendy, Estupiñán, and Virgil van Dijk. And Koulibaly with Dumfries at the right, Idrissa Gueye, Moises Caicedo, and Frankie de Jong, with the three up front with Sadio Mane, Depay, and Cody Gakpo. That's my front three.
I like most of it. I should say.
In terms of goal involvements, I cannot not put Cody Gakpo, man. More goal involvements than Erling Haaland.
He's up to 30.
What?
He's up to 30 this
30!
season. 30.
Gakpo's
and I know everyone's
30.
going to say, oh, it's the Eredivisie. I know. No. He's been doing it in Europe, too. Cody Gakpo deserves a big move, and he'll get one.
Against Arsenal, we saw it.
Yeah.
Xavi Simons
he's good.
Gakpo proved.
It's actually hard to believe that it's, I guess, taken this long for Gakpo. I mean, at 23, he's that upper echelon that upper range of wonder kid.
Van Nistelrooy.
But yeah,
Van Nistelrooy. He did what he had to do. Right choices, and Xavi Simons too.
they also sent Ajax back in the other day, so they're.
I'd love to put Xavi Simons and Frimpong in this best 11, man.
know,
I
it's
wouldn't
tough.
be surprised if at the end of the World Cup they have to be.
It could be. It could
can
be.
have a role.
And Frimpong is one especially. I think he's the only up to this point. Since Xabi Alonso has taken over, they've been much better. But previous to that, Jeremy Frimpong was one of the only good things about Bayer Leverkusen to start that year.
They have a lot.
Yeah, and so we'll see.
Holzek, Diaby,
They do. They have this wonderful. It's like getting that FM roster where you buy all the wonder kids, and you expect them to do some things. They need Wirtz back so bad, but you expect them to do it, and then you're like, oh, this doesn't work. But listen, okay, here's my best 11. Let me make sure that I don't stumble. All right, best 11 for Group A. We've got Edouard Mendy at goal. We've got at left back. Here's my difference with you. Okay, I've got Ismail Jacobs. Okay? German international previously, and he has now converted, if you will, or has now changed nationalities to Senegal. And if anyone's seen him for AS Monaco, he doesn't play insanely often, but when he plays, he's bright. He's left wing back material. He can play left wing. So who knows? He might, if Sadio Mane's out, he might take his spot. But if not, they're going to fit him in on the left side. And he's looked pretty good, pretty bright for Senegal. So there was a backstory there. I don't know if it's Ismail or Ismail. I don't know. But Ismail Jacobs is one to watch at left back. So, goalkeeper Mendy, left back Ismail Jacobs, center backs, I'm with you, Koulibaly, Van Dijk. Right back, Van Gaal's going to start Dumfries. I want to see Frimpong by the end of this. I'm with you there because he's the brighter, more entertaining of the two. But we do remember there was a time that Denzel Dumfries was an insanely entertaining player. And a lot of that had to do with him being in an Aranja shirt. So we will see. My midfield, Frankie de Jong, Moises Caicedo, and then I'm going to go with what the Dutch have been doing. Gakpo has been playing at kind of a reserve striker role, kind of 10 role. And then my front three, you ready for this? I'm going to say Sadio Mane until somebody says that he cannot play. I'm going to say Sadio Mane.
Third fixture, they're trying.
Okay, well, he's going to go bold in that third fixture. Here's where this gets interesting. Ooh. My top, my striker is Enner Valencia. Enner Valencia. I believe he's up to 33, 34 right now. Yeah. Ahead of Depay. Okay, Enner Valencia. If Ecuador goes bold here, it's because Enner Valencia. Depay is the better striker.
He's going to be the top goal scorer of the
I'm just saying, watch Enner Valencia. Okay? Older, man. He's older. He's got, you ready for this? For Fenerbahce, he's got 16 goal involvements in 11 Super League matches. It's his last hurrah. He's, a former West Ham flub, and we know how all these West Ham flubs tend to go on to different clubs and do really, really well. Sebastian Haller is who I'm thinking of. So really what it comes down to is Enner Valencia has every reason to have himself a World Cup. He also has some really, really interesting fullbacks. Some people that can get it into him. So whether or not Ecuador matures at this World Cup and supplies him, that's a different question. But he is capable of making some magic. You're 100% right, though. Memphis Depay is the better striker. Right wing, I'm going to go with Ismail Assar. Okay. Who did you pick at right wing?
Mane and then Gakpo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ismail Assar for Senegal is a different animal. Okay? Ismail Assar, he is one of the reasons why they qualified, beating Egypt. He is one of the reasons why they won the AFCON. Okay, it wasn't just Sadio Mane. Go back, you look at the tapes. It was Ismail Assar. He's been absolutely instrumental. So while Ismail Assar might play for Watford still in the championship, this is the World Cup. Nobody cares. Nobody cares who you play for, okay? Because you play for your country. And Ismail Assar will make sure, especially if he needs to carry some of the load because Sadio Mane is not in until that third fixture, he's going to have to go bold for this. So I have a lot of Senegalese players, which when I did that, I came back and I'm like, I think they're going to get second.
And they're AFCON winners. They're AFCON winners. And that's a player, Ismail Sarr, that destroyed Liverpool, okay? That game, okay? That loss of Liverpool at Anfield in the Prem, no one can forget. And Virgil van Dijk will for sure not forget. So Senegal against Netherlands will be very interesting to see with that dynamic.
Now, I have one other wild card because everyone everyone has been talking about the Ghanaian ability to bring in new players, right? Or you could say bring in players they always should have brought in. I don't know how people stand on this. If you have any family from Ghana, you should play for Ghana. Well, Senegal has been doing the same thing. Senegal brought in a player that is completely uncapped. He has not played one game for them, okay? It is Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson plays for Villarreal.
Okay.
Plays for Villarreal. He's got a bunch of, not a bunch, but he's got some goals in La Liga, okay, for Villarreal, which is not a bad team. I don't know. Post Unai Emery, they're pretty bad. Obviously, with Unai Emery, they were very good, and he was still a kind of a fixture there. But I have to shout him out because I think they brought him in. He can play on the left. He can play up top. I think they brought him in. If Sadio Mane can't go, I think he took this because he realizes this is his shot at a World Cup, and he has every ability to be that unknown quantity for Senegal. Unknown quantity. So I think you need to listen for the name Nicholas Jackson because he might wind up in that post-group stage best 11 for Group A at least.
Ooh, I love that show.
Yeah,
Great show. Yeah. Underrated, man.
Yeah.
Underrated. You're going bold with these shouts. Like, and at Valencia? What is Jorge Jesus doing with him at Fenerbahce?
I don't know, but it also landed Arda Güler his first call-up. He's now the youngest to be called up for Turkey ever.
What?
Ever.
And how many goals at Valencia?
It is. Where'd it
How
go?
many goals?
Oh God!
This man
Here it comes.
cannot
16 goal involvements in 11 Super League matches.
What?
So he's ready to go. He's primed.
Jorge Jesus does this, man. What a manager. Sometimes in certain given scenarios. But people, tell us down below your predictions down below for Group A and tell us your best lineup, okay? We want to see some tactics. Do your own formation too. Doesn't need to be a 4-3-3.
No.
Go bold. And yes, thank you, community, for listening until now. And please don't forget to like this video. That's telling us that you're enjoying these World Cup clips, community. Thank you.